Hey guys, what's going on? Adam here with Indie Farm Life. Doing a little bit of road building out here in the farm, so thought I'd at least take the opportunity to make a quick video and walk you guys through the process we use when we're building roads. Now, in Indiana, you can usually find clay about 6 to 8 inches down. Now, right here behind me, this was actually the ravine we filled in, and we just simply put clay in there, so there's no topsoil to remove. If you're in central Indiana, usually if you cut down 6 to 8 inches, you'll find your clay. And from there, you usually want to put down a stone that can support larger loads and will interlock. And what we typically use is number 2 limestone. Now, if you're not familiar with what size of number 2 limestone is, I'll just show you. So here is number 2 limestone. As you can see, I picked this up. This piece here is probably a little bit bigger than a baseball. So I would say from a baseball up to a softball size stone. And what's nice about this stone is it interlocks together really well to help provide a nice sound base for your traffic. Once you have your number 2 stone in, you'll typically then follow it with something that'll help fill in all the crevices. In Indiana, we use what's called a number 53 limestone. This stone is about the size of a quarter or so, coupled with a lot of limestone dust that will help pack in and fill all the crevices. And I think it goes without saying, you're going to want to do a lot of compaction between the number 2 and the number 53. So don't plan on doing this all in one day. You know, put your 2 down, give it a few weeks of traffic on top of it, maybe some rains, compaction. If you have a roller, great. If you don't, then just vehicular traffic will help do the job. And then follow with your 53 a little later on. So that's the general process when we build our roads. We don't use any of the landscape fabric or road barrier that some people put down. I found that if you pack a road in well, you're not going to have a lot of stuff growing up through it. And what you do have growing through, it's ultimately going to end up being in the very top ½ inch of your 53 or your number 8 stone you ultimately end with. So not really a necessary step in my opinion. So as I preached to you about using number 2 limestone, number 53 limestone, I'd like to show you the curveball that we are employing on this road here. We just hauled in, or just had hauled in, 107 tons of number 2 size asphalt millings. So this is exactly what it sounds like. It is asphalt that had been taken up from an old road, run through a crusher to get into the size of number 2 limestone, or the number 2 stone I just showed you. And this is going to be our base layer. Obviously, this is not the color of limestone, and not probably the color we ultimately want to have out here, but we're going to put number 53 limestone or number 8 stone, which is the smaller stone, over top of this eventually. So for a base layer, we'll take it. You might ask, well, why did you buy this versus number 2 limestone? Well, this stuff was $8 a ton. And if you've priced out stone before, you may or may not think that's a deal, but it actually equates to about $100 a load cheaper than buying number 2 limestone. So if this is going to be a base layer and ultimately covered with another stone, I really don't care if it's white, black, yellow, red, or green, or any other color in the rainbow for that matter. Most of this got tailgated in, but as you can see, I got a pretty good sized pile there, and it runs all the way back up to where I parked my truck. So they brought in 5 quad axles, I believe, to deliver this 107 ton. So I'm gonna have to grab my tractor and knock this down a little bit so you can get the cars across here. But even just tailgating it, they already packed it in pretty well. I'm really liking this. It's gonna be nice to not have to have the truck covered in mud every time it rains. So that's the method we typically employ when we build our roads. It's not scientific. Any city or county would probably laugh at us and say that's not to spec, but it's worked for us. It supports, you know, triaxles, quad axles, 50,000 pound concrete trucks. It's not been an issue for us so far, so we're gonna keep doing it. So now I'm gonna grab the tractor and spread some of this out. Give you guys a little action instead of a lecture, really. Scratch that. I think I'm gonna use the backhoe. Looks like I gotta air up a tire or two though. Oh, and you might be asking yourself or asking me, why aren't you gonna use the bulldozer you were standing right in front of? Well, it's out of commission right now. Still waiting on a valve to be replaced, so I guess I'll use the small little backhoe. this uneven terrain for the Gannon and Big Green. I don't have a death wish. I didn't catch it on camera, but backhoe got a little bit tipsy over here. No seatbelt, not worth the risk. Use the right machine for the right job. So I'm gonna go over here with the backhoe and at least use the loader to scoop in. Well, here, let me show you. I leveled it out a little bit on the way through, but it was real wavy over there, and I got off the side that to the left there and sat down pretty good. So let's just load some in with the bucket, then we'll get the Gannon. I just didn't really want to switch from the grapple to the loader bucket. That's why I kind of grabbed the backhoe ultimately. I think I'm gonna grab Big Green to finish pushing this stuff down. Backhoe would probably be a little faster, but I value my life, and when that thing gets leaning like that, it's a little bit unnerving. It's a little frustrating too, having a dozer sit right there that I can't use to knock all this in. Let's go drop the grapple. Okay, it is just not worth the risk. Got old Trusty here. See what we can't do. Moving dirt is way more fun. Much more traction, a whole lot fewer times where you feel like you're going to flip the machine on dirt versus rock. Rock, just you get a little cluster under you and you're done. I think I'm going to grab the backhoe and move my truck and try to, I'm not going to move my truck with the backhoe, but I'm going to move my truck, get the backhoe, and try to take some of this pile here and drop it down where my truck's parked. It's not perfect, and I got to do some more box plating so that you don't crush your spine when you roll across here, but at least now it's passable and this pile's not in the way. I don't know if I'll get a chance to spread the one out by the barn, but that's not a big deal. It can sit for a while. I'd rather have that bulldozer back to do this kind of stuff anyway. Sometimes that's just how the cards fall. I'd love to have that dozer sitting over my right shoulder to be able to do this, but you just got to get work done while you have the time, right? That backhoe does a decent job. If it was four-wheel drive, it'd be a little bit better. You lose traction on this rock so fast that four-wheel drive is a must. And man, again, the 4052R just never lets me down and presses me. Doesn't have the lift power that backhoe does, but with four-wheel drive, a loaded bucket, and you have that Gannon behind you, smoothing out this rough surface to be able to make it passable without, tipping your machine over, that goes a long way. I'm gonna do a little more cleanup on this road here. Got a few piles to spread out here, and then I don't know if I'll get to that one by the barn or not, but hopefully this is helpful for some of you guys who are wanting to put a road across maybe your property, a vacant lot you have, some vacant acreage, and just don't know how to do it. You definitely don't need to go call someone in and pay big bucks to have it done. If you got a piece of equipment the size of this tractor here, or even a little smaller, you just take a little more time. Just, get a box blade, tear off your topsoil, get down to your clay, and then haul in some larger stone like this, pack it in, and then go from there with your 53, and you'll have yourself a really nice road. after a few months of driving on it. And I'll put up updates of this as things progress as well. As always, thanks for stopping by and watching this video. We appreciate all the likes and comments. Appreciate if you guys would subscribe and come back and see us again. The pond is definitely not done, so many more videos of that on the way. We had a little snafu with some machinery breakdowns, as you saw the dozer, and then actually our home's dump wagon's out of commission right now too. So hopefully we get things back online here relatively soon and keep that project going. So hit that subscribe button, come back and see us. Take care, guys.